Okay, so what you're looking at right here is my lab. My head's kind of, I was trying to hide under the desk to get out of the picture, but I'm in there. So today's video is all in 360, so I'm cutting together some of the 360 video I shot, merging in some screen captures. It's about range testing of the BLE 121LR. I have it built into my current revision 7 Soul BLE tracker. Took it down to the local park to see how far I could connect to it from with a couple different phones. So you can take a look at the tests I did, and then I'll summarize everything with a view of Google Maps at the end. Okay, so I'm out here testing the range, free space range of the cat collar. It's oriented with the antenna end facing me. It's way off in the distance. I don't know if you can see that. Speed limit sign on my left. Then there's a trash can, basketball hoop, goal net, and my sister sitting on a rock right next to it. I've managed to connect to it with two of these devices. Here I have the S6 active, the LG D90, and the iPhone 4S. The iPhone 4S was able to connect on the second try. The Active 6 was able to connect on its third try. The LG D90 is not able to scan it. I'm reading between 93, negative 93, negative 100 dBm on the scans. So, that's pretty good. We're at a fair distance here all the way across the park. I'm going to go a little further, see where the scanning cuts out, but I'm pretty sure this is the edge of being able to connect where I am here now. And I'm shooting this all with my new 360-degree camera. Thought it'd be a nice place to try it out. Give you all a nice view. Okay, quick thing. Turns out the LG D90 did manage to scan it, but after 10 tries it couldn't connect. It did get to the Discovering Services stage a few times, but never made it to connect it. So all three phones could scan it from this distance, but only the iPhone and the Active 6 were able to connect. Okay, I've now moved about 50 feet away further. The iPhone and the Edge 6 Active can still detect it, but the iPhone was unable to connect, whereas the S6 was able to connect on a third try again at this distance. Move further back again. This is an interesting change. iPhone connected at this distance 50 feet further. S6 Active couldn't connect even with 5 tries. So it's way off in the distance now. It's measuring negative 95 dBm. An additional note for the last test, the iPhone did connect. It did beep, but it lost connection after a little while. So while it is connectable at this distance, it can't stay connected. Now I've moved further back. I'm going to move a little side to side, because at this point right now, you can see, can't detect anything. I'm about 50 feet further back. Doesn't look like I got it. We're still scanning. Alright. Moving forward till I see the scan again. Nothing yet. Still scanning. Still nothing, huh? We're almost back to the last point. I gotta refresh the iPhone scan. Huh. Alright, we're at the spot we last scanned it. Ah, there we go. iPhone's picking up again. S6 nothing. Keep moving. There we go. So we got it on this 6. Testing finished. Okay, so you can see on Google Earth now, we have a map of all my testing. I went to Timberline Park, not too far from my house. Tracker was here. It was aimed in this general direction. Now, I did notice a few things when I was walking out. First of all, if I didn't have the phone aimed with its back pretty much at the tracker, I would lose the signal. Like if I had it 90 degrees out at this distance, you know, middle of the soccer field, I would lose the signal. I had to aim it, turn around, pretty much aim it where the tracker was. So there's some element into to the gain of the tracker involved. Now, the first point I stopped. Now here I got I did not actually get RX on all. The LG D90 didn't receive it here. The only place I tested LG D90, well, it scanned it here. It didn't connect to it here. This is where the LG D90 connected it on the test I did, where it successfully connected. And further out, I was unable to scan or connect on the LG D90. On the S6 Active, this is the furthest connection it got. This is about 612. This is 528 feet on the LG D90. The S6 was at 612 feet. Another thing to mention about the LG D90, its scanning, its Bluetooth low energy scanning capability is sort of limited, at least as far as I could tell, because when I was using the continuous scanning API, it would only detect it once, and then it wouldn't return any more hits. So the LG D90 doesn't do a continuous scan. It'll scan, and it won't return additional detections of the hardware. Like on my S6 Active, where I can scan and I can see a constant received signal strength just by scanning, LG D90 doesn't do that in its Bluetooth stack. Now the iPhone 4S I didn't manage to connect from here, but maybe that was a fluke. It did connect from here and from here, but it did also manage to connect from here, 761 feet away. I got the iPhone, and you can see we're starting to clip through this house a little bit, so we're starting to lose line of sight. That may be why we couldn't scan it from here. We might have been able to scan further out and maybe even connect further out if we had a better line of sight, but this testing scenario didn't allow for that.